Yeah, let's just pivot over to Phoenix with Highway Robbery. Is it finally time for Phoenix to be good modern deck? I think maybe. I think to some extent, like, basically getting to play 8 Faithless Salvaging is something I've wanted to do for a long time in the shell. Highway Robbery is very close to salvaging, despite everybody hating salvaging. 2 mana plots. So for 2 mana you plot it. Next turn you 0 mana, um, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and set up for your Demiliches and Phoenixes really well. I think this list is looking very mean, lean, clean. Sideboard, pick your poison. I think also very quietly nice upgrade to the deck, especially not needing to splash white for mending anymore. Man, it gets a lot better. I don't think Slickshot Show Off is like where you want to be in this deck. What's like one of the best things about this deck is your creatures are just not vulnerable to removal at all. But as soon as you start to add any other creature, Dragon Rage's Channeler, Murktide, Show Off, whatever, your creatures all of a sudden you're turning on your opponent's Fatal Pushes and Lightning Bolts and stuff in a way that you're just pretty resilient to those cards in this build. Which again is one of the main reasons I think to play this archetype is you are very, very resilient deck that gets to be very consistent, churn through your deck really quickly. And I think the biggest problem with this archetype is that you just don't present that quick of a clock. And so against some of the non-interactive decks, you just don't have a lot of game. Yeah, Satora did pretty well. It was 6-4. So the card Satora looked pretty good. Could have played better for a couple more wins. I like the deck. I like Satoro. Also very first drafty. Can you explain the robbery? I just did Bolt, but again, it's effectively another 0 mana spell. Another 0 mana spell to enable turn 3 Demilich's turn 3 Phoenixes, which is really important. It's also kind of the same reason why you're playing Salvaging. It's like both of these cards set up for your big turn 3. Both these cards set up for a 0 mana looter to either loot away Phoenix, Demilich, or just cast a spell, so that way you can have 4 total cast spells on turn 3 to play all of the Demiliches you can find and bring back all of the Phoenixes you can find on your turn 3. Particularly weak with more extractions running around. Yeah, this deck is bad against surgical extraction. I'm not playing a Surveil land in this deck. We just have so many 1 mana cantrips. I have a very difficult time mulliganing 2 Manamorphoses when I play this deck, and I'm on the draw. And my deck has like 12 1 mana cantrips. No, sorry, more than that now. It used to be 12, now it's 16. And then 15 lands. So I have 31 draws on turn 1 that make this hand very good to keep, and then I have, redraws on the next turn. So I think I'm going to keep. No, Questing Druid is unplayable in this deck. Like, Expressive Iteration, I think, is also unplayable. Like, you need your spells to be 1 or 0 mana. Every single spell needs to be 1 or 0 mana. Is something I really feel about this deck. Highway Robbery, Salvaging count as zeros. Yeah, I'm not playing a Thundering Falls. It's kind of tough to not have something to do with your mana. Obviously, this is a situation where you'd want it. Obviously, there are going to be situations where you'd run it. I'm a big Surveil land believer, but just with all the 1 mana cantrips in the world, it just seems too bad to play the tap lands. If we draw a land next turn, we are going to be in amazing shape. No land, no cantrip. Why not Treasure Cruise? Card is not legal in Modern. And they have this Rishadan Dockhand to stop me from doing anything if I do draw a land, but they have no other pressure potentially. We'll chill. Play Otherworldly Gaze. The card is great, even if it doesn't cantrip. I disagree on the Otherworldly Gaze point. It's a very contested point actually on the stream. Otherworldly Gaze in this deck. I'm a big hater of the card. I think it's worse than basically any other cantrip. You can even just like do the math on it too, right? Where you have 8 cards in this deck that are good in your graveyard. Let's while we're missing our land drops here, let's just hypogeometric calculator this. So Otherworldly Gaze replaces itself only if you hit one of these 3 cards. So population size 59, sample size 3, successes in population 8, successes in sample 1. So you are 35% when you cast Otherworldly Gaze to effectively replace itself by entombing a Phoenix or Demilich. When that happens, it's good. The other 65% of the time, Otherworldly Gaze is like a suboptimal play for you. And I have a problem with that putting in the deck. I also would prefer to play Scour, Serum Visions, Preordain, and Consider. I would like to play all of these 1 mana blue spells over Otherworldly Gaze. Population size 52 probably. But it's less than 59. Like so people who who template it like this. People who template it like population size 52. Why do you do that? Explain to me, because we don't like how we can't account for those 7 other cards. Like, why are we thinking none of those 7 cards are Phoenixes or Demiliches? Why is that number, why does that number get to go down, but the number of successors in population don't go down? You're starting at 53. Yeah, but how many Demiliches and Phoenixes are in those cards? You don't know, so you do 59, right? At least that's how I do it. I would love to hear why you do it that way. Why you do it that way. You also need to account the flashback. I'm like, sure, but like, you're not gonna, flashing it back is slow, and like, the front half isn't good. The back half helps some for sure. But hitting another gaze off gaze gets the numbers up. That is true. So you can say that there are 11 good hits, but it's like one of them is kind of a mediocre hit. Your logic makes sense. Okay. You need to at least count for a land and spell itself, so max should be 58. Maybe, I don't know. I at the very least, this is how I've always done it. That could be better. I didn't graduate college. The numbers still are not particularly good, unfortunately. Okay, red, blue. We need to draw a 1 mana spell. We have so many 1 mana spells in the deck, and 0, and we got shot too. Seems like it should be okay to discard a. Let's just discard a Salvaging. Okay, so we have 1 more look at a 1 mana spell. We have so many in the deck. Wow. Between mana, we had 4 looks at. 4 looks at 24 cards. Brutal. I can still cast 1 Demilich and bring back the Phoenix, so it's not like everything's lost here. Internet Doc, 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So they can Tidebinder my Phoenix trigger, which is pretty bad. Assembling 59 is the great way. Okay. Correct way. And again, that's what most people say, but it's okay. But another thing too is like we could disagree on like the numbers, the percentages, but if you want to play Otherworldly Gaze in your deck, you need to figure out like what percentages you want to be at for this card to be good. And for me, I think we're way below like whatever our target numbers would be. A 3rd Dockhand, so I can rebound this. I think I'm discarding one of my 2 fetch lands. I've cast 1 spell this turn. Let's play Basic Island for turn. Thought Scour ourselves. I've played 2 spells this turn. Then let's go main phase 1. Highway Robbery. Discard one of these. Draw 2. I draw a Lightning Bolt, which is interesting. So I think I'm just attacking with my Demilich, bringing back a Phoenix, attacking with both, right? Attack with both, because I can't block the Dockhand, so I just have to hope that the last card isn't relevant. Bolt the Master of the Pearl Trident, and then play 2 Demiliches, and we can take 3, and then we have a pretty good chance of killing them next turn. Be a funny game to win. So I'm going to go down to 2 life points here. My opponent has 2 cards in their hand. I draw a Gut Shot, which I cannot pay life for. I'm also not playing a basic mountain deck. We just have like infinite blue cantrips. It's kind of tough to play a basic mountain. I can Manamorphose to make extra red mana, which is kind of interesting, and like bolt a bunch in combat. So I can also go. I can go tap Breeding Pool, Graveyard Phoenix, draw Island, tap Spirebluff Canal, bolt my opponent. Yeah, so top. I think this is going to be way more than lethal. I think even through meaningful interaction. Bolting the Tidebinder should basically always be better than bolting their face, since I have all these 4 power creatures it can block. Force of Negation. Okay, so that is a meaningful piece of interaction. I still get to bring back this Phoenix. Then I get to go attack with everything here, and then I'm going to stack my triggers to where I target the... Oh, the Lightning Bolt is exiled. Okay, it doesn't matter, though. But I was planning on, like, flashing back the Manamorphoses then bolting, but didn't matter. We won that game, 1-0. They're missing a lot of turns. Terrific with the 37 months. Thank you, welcome back. I'm going to bring in these Flame Slashes. And then they are likely to have artifact-based graveyard hate that I'm going to be bringing these Pick Your Poisons in for. They have 1 good creature to Gut Shot, usually. I don't even think they play the 2/1 draw card anymore. I think I'm going to play like exactly 2 copies of Gut Shot, and then it's got the Serum Visions, which I usually view as the worst cantrip. They played Lord of Flash. That's the card I'm talking about, as them having exactly 1 good creature to Gut Shot, which means what I'm trying to say and kind of shortcut it is I want less than 4 Gut Shots, and I'm going to play 2. I think you could play more. Frank Carson's article, he used deck size of original -1 to 59. I molded the notion of casting Muxus in a game by removing Muxus from a 60 card ability for stack. Okay. Then if Frank Carson uses 59, 59 is good enough for me. Yeah, but again, even if you're a 53 card enjoyer, the numbers just don't make sense on Otherworldly Gaze to play it in the deck. Yeah, the problem with the Council's Deliberation, John, is that the deck isn't that interested in just like a 2-mana card advantage spell, or like even a free card advantage spell. The deck just wants to be putting Demiliches, as many Demiliches and Phoenixes in play as fast as possible, and then the deck can just keep doing that without any card advantage, which is why Expressive Iteration isn't playable in the deck, in my opinion, because you're spending mana to get card advantage, but you don't care about card advantage. You care only really about the board pressure, because you do almost the same thing every single turn with this deck. You use as much mana to either remove your opponent's permanents or cantrip and card select into Demiliches and Phoenixes, and because the deck is so much selection, you just get to keep doing that without card advantage. Okay, we can keep this one. A little bit of a better 1-line keep. Opponent's on molded 6 on the play. They're playing Merfolk. Why do these kind of decks stop playing a non-graveyard dependent card-like thing in the ice? I think it's just mostly better, at least my strategy has been to try to dodge these. I guess I could have just like preordained and then scoured on my turn in response to like the tap. That could have been good. I plan to just try to beat the graveyard hate with prismatic endings, wear tears, or pick your poisons. That's kind of been my strategy for a little while here. Yeah, I think we preordain. Probably gonna just salvaging next turn. We'll see what happens. Seems like they have the Flash Lord here. Yeah, the Hexcatcher. Yeah, but in my experience, it's just better to like, because your deck is so graveyard dependent. Like, your 4 thing in the ice is going to go the distance against that many decks? Maybe it would against Merfolk. Maybe it likely wouldn't against some other strategies, and That's just, I guess, the question you have to answer. Um. Okay, I think now that I've drawn this, I'm going to cast this Manamorphose. I think it's very likely to resolve. My opponent has 2 cards in their hand. If they have a Spell Pierce, they have Spell Pierce, but I think they're like basically never sacking both Merfolk to counter the Manamorphose. Okay. Tank Spell Pierce, sure. Pretty brutal. Might as well scour main phase. I could mill over Phoenix and draw Gut Shot. Not very likely. I did mill over a Demilich, which is something. Maybe a little slow here. The Spell Pierce was pretty dang good. They only have 1 card in their hand, drawing up to 2. Reason is because deck goes fast and does the thing. Don't gotta go fast and don't queue it. Thank you, Master Mike, for the 25. I'm down to 10 life points. My opponent's got 2 cards in their hand. Okay, I'm going to lead on a Consider here. Graveyarding this Arclight Phoenix. Beautiful. I mean, Consider, because I really want to find a burn spell for the Lord of Atlantis. Hurts to graveyard a Manamorphose, but I think it is correct. Now that I'm not very likely to cast any other spells here, I'm just gonna scour it, because maybe I can mill over another Phoenix or Demilich. No Grape Shot to fasten your Demilich. How does Grape Shot help Demilich? Oh, the copies of Grape Shot don't count for Demilich. I'm like doubting my world. I see what you're saying. But it does not work that way to my understanding. They got 2 cards in their hand. Doesn't seem to be super relevant. Dismember the Lich. That's okay. I can bring that bad boy back next turn, probably. To use 53, you need to do multiple calculations to account for the variable. In this case, the variable number of hits remaining. Any less success than the population means you have to draw on too many cards. Assume any less. Yeah. That's my understanding too. That you have to do multiple calculations. Okay, so we're down to 1 life point. So I guess I need to kill both Island Walking Lords or kill them. Killing them seems like it'll be pretty tough. But you never know. Yeah, I think... Oh, we'd be a little short even if we're at 1 more point to go Preordain, Flashback, Flame Slash. I'll go to game 3. Is Highway Robbery the only new card in the deck? Yeah, but it's like almost exactly what the deck needed. Still think I need to keep these Pick Your Poisons in. For turn 1, in this case, the variable number of hits remaining in the deck. Turn 1, 11 is 40%. 10 is 38. 9 is 36. Any less success in the population means you have drawn too many cards. Sure. I think you're just supposed to do 59. But again, if you want to do this instead, 40% to hit is not enough. It's not enough, I think. Thought of Robbery Flagstones. A little bit, yeah. I don't know if it's like how exciting it is to like I've jumped through all these hoops and I now have achieved a 2-mana draw 2, that is good. Actually 2-mana draw 2 surveil 1, because you get the surveil land off the flagstones always these days. I'm not sure what deck you would play it in. It's a lot of math for a card as bad as Otherworldly Gaze. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to like articulate why Otherworldly Gaze is bad though, because a lot of people like the upside of Otherworldly Gaze is really high. Like if you're surveilling your stuff into the yard, it's going to be great. But the problem is the math. So let's talk about the problem. Okay, hopefully we just easy breezy find second land and plot Highway Robbery for the first time. Yeah, but I'm a big 59 believer. Okay. Never easy breezy finding land 2. Always a sweat. Find a fetch land, pick your poison. Pretty happy. No fetch land. Pretty unhappy. I'm a 58 believer. I also remove the mana source. Yeah, so someone said that if you're a 58 believer, like maybe it makes sense for 1-drops, but it's harder to it's harder to account, like you don't really do it for cards with higher mana values. Like Carson did 59 for Muxus, and like if you don't do it for higher mana values, I think it makes sense to not do it for other ones. It's also like, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's a very marginal difference. 58, 59. Obsidian Bane with the Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Appreciate you. The 50-something discussion about we're hypogeometric calculating Otherworldly Gaze and how likely it is to hit Demilich and Otherworldly Phoenix, or Arclight Phoenix and Demilich. And I basically always do sample size 59 on any of these effects. It's what Karsten does. And when I did that in the chat, all the Otherworldly Gaze fans are like, 53, do 53 cards because you drew 7, but this doesn't account for how many Phoenixes and Demiliches you drew. Yeah, maybe better to spare yourself from the convo. Okay, my opponent decides to play Cavern on Merfolk, probably taking a long time to decide what creature type to name. Okay, so this is already a 2/2. I mean, I don't really mind Tide Shaper so much, I guess. If I draw a... Okay, nice. Yeah, I can cast 4 spells here. Kind of interesting. You can just cast this card with like no effect, because it says you may discard a card or sacrifice a land. So you just, it can just be do nothing, which is kind of rare on Magic cards, I guess. How does Toro play? So Toro, I think it seemed very good. I have a hard time imagining it doesn't find a home in Modern. All the spree cards can do nothing. Some people said no to that. I'm not sure. I think they can, but some people yesterday saying they said they couldn't. I can't remember where we landed on that. Is this the first ever literal 2-mana do nothing? Yeah, maybe. Nothing else is coming to mind. Spree cards require at least 1 mana. Okay, good to know. I remember we had this conversation last week. I just couldn't remember what the right answer was. Okay, the Dismember my Demilich. So we're almost definitely suspending or plotting Highway Robbery. I think I should Flame Slash the Tide Shaper so I can unlock this Spirebluff Canal. Plot. Cannot counterspell a plot. Dismember my Phoenix. Okay, if they don't have any graveyard hate, they're going to have a grave time next turn. Unless I draw like 5 lands in her or something. Okay, discard Phoenix. Shout out 0 mana spells. Yeah, I want to not expose my like Manamorphose to a counterspell to stop me from casting that 4th spell to get back my Demilich. That makes sense. I do think I'm also just gonna go to combat, bring back both Phoenixes, and then have the Bolt available for their face. And then I can also bring back Demilich if that gets countered. Most obvious subtlety ever. Maybe. I mean, subtlety's not very good against me, so I would certainly be okay if that was what they were having. We played 2 leagues of Esper Satoro, and now we're in our first match with the Phoenix deck. Okay. I'm just going to bolt the Tidebinder. Dude, you can cast Demilich from the yard for free. The card is crazy. Just cast it for free. Trigger Satoro. Satora felt very good. I think the card would be very good in Modern. Doing this to bring back that other Phoenix in the yard here. We're in Nornware deck. We'll do it this week. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. So they definitely have a Tide Bind. They're gonna try to Tide Bind my Phoenix again. Probably better than the average draw. Can they have Trickster go down to 2? Trickster by itself doesn't save them because you have this extra Phoenix. Think of the new affinity using Simulacrum Synthesizer. I think it looks very fun and like not super good. Because I think Affinity probably just will still not be a very good deck, even with this card. But maybe the card is optimal in the archetype. I think Legion Extruder has modern potential. I have a list right now that's playing exactly one copy. I'm kind of like some people were talking about playing it with my favorite card. I forgot my favorite card's name. Enigma Jewel. But I don't know. Right now I have it as a one of. We'll see how it performs there, and then kind of evaluate after that. It says, "Good lunch. I have fries." Okay, GLH. I do still think Salvaging is better than this new Highway Robbery because it can discard 2 things instead of just 1. Synthesizer artifact itself, I'm not saying it's amazing. It's definitely way better than Psy. Yeah, I know. I agree that it's better than Psy, but like just like kind of ultimately though, like these cards are both good when you like play it and then you have a lot going on. It is better than Psy, but to some extent, like this isn't the problem with Affinity. It's just like if you slam like any of these 3 drops and then do your thing, you're going to win. You will win more often with this new card. I agree, and it's nice that it's an artifact, but that's just not the problem with the archetype. The problem with the archetype is like consistency issues and vulnerability, and this just doesn't do anything about it. But it could be optimal in Affinity. It definitely could be like just correct to play in the deck, which is at least exciting. Yeah, yes, yeah. Someone else mentioned you cannot cast Spree Cells as do nothings, which is good to know. Not that you were really going to play too many Affinity Spree decks, or Prowess Spree decks. Okay, Manamorphose. I think I'm actually just bolting. I don't want to shock to play Salvaging or bolt, like and bolts. I think I just do this and have them on a pretty fast clock. Suspends a Rift Bolt, so I'm basically at 7. Putting them to 5. Yeah, the Double Canyon is definitely interesting here. So they go to 5. I'm basically at 7 here. If they tap 2 lands to burn me for 3, assuming it's like Skullcracker, not Helix, assuming it's not Boros Charm would be pretty bad. They go down to 3. I guess they only have to tap this one more time for us to be able to gut shot them in response to something. Okay. I don't actually know if Boros Charm is worse or better for me than Helix. I guess we're just into any 1 mana burn spell. Can you explain why you cast Robbery instead of Salvaging? The game is just not going to go on an extra turn, and Highway Robbery sees an extra card this turn compared to Salvaging. So we just don't care about the rebound because the rebound turn isn't relevant. Dang. Close. Preordain into Bolt is lethal. I was thinking I wanted to have red mana up for Gutshot and invoke a gut and 2 life for Gutshot because that would have beaten them tapping the canyons one more time, which they were pretty close to doing. I'm going to cut all my Gutshots. Maybe I leave 1 in, because I don't know if I want to bring in Pick Your Poison. I almost played Weather the Storm on the sideboard today. I guess I should have done that. Magical Line's being super laggy for me today too. How has the plot been on the robbery? Good. It's the main reason we're playing it. I don't know. It's good. One says oof, no bolt. I guess not. Guess not. I'll keep this one. Do I have my Magdas? I don't have my Magdas. Don't worry about donating them, though. I should be able to just get them before tomorrow. Appreciate the thought, though. I get one was so close. Oof. Gotta fetch shock again. Any new cards played by opponents that impressed? We played against one Satoro that we stole with Animation Aegis. I don't know if I've seen a single other new card. No, I don't think you can play Surveil lands in this deck. You just have too many cantrips for a tap land, but I don't know. Okay, bottom both these. Can throw a Phoenix at our opponent, just not likely to be fast enough. Serum Visions, yeah, I think Visions is good in this deck. A lot of times, what you do with Visions is you end up surveilling a Phoenix or Demilich to the top, and then you use Consider or Thought Scour to like dump them in the graveyard. You also just get to keep a lot of one-land Serum Vision hands, a lot of one-land Preordain hands. No, the problem with Murktide is the problem with every other creature besides Demilich and Phoenix is like right now, what is really nice about this deck is you're not turning on your opponent's creature removal at all. Your deck is just all creatures that are really resilient to removal. Murktide is too, but it's if you're just turning on like hard removal. I've played a lot of this archetype, and I have played Murktide in the deck. I have played Channeler in the deck, and I feel really confidently you don't want to play other little dopey creatures. I'm at 9 life. Looks like we're surviving for now. Opponent suspends a Rift Bolt. I'm going to discard this Demilich to my Salvaging. Goodbye, my sweet Arclight Phoenixes. Need to find more liches. Okay, can I... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Seems okay to discard or graveyard this then. You have a lot more ways to dump stuff in the yard, of course. Third Demilich. Can't be that bad. Okay, so you may have a surgical for my Phoenixes. I think I'm going to be short on getting all 3 of these back, unfortunately. Yeah, a little short. I think I'm keeping both bolts. Bimbast, Twitch Prime, thank you. I bought my opponent twice down to 12. Hit them for 6 more down to 6. 8 more down to 4. Yeah, if I had one more instant or sorcery in the yard, I guess we had lethal this turn. I really want to get this Demilich back. Yeah, I think I'll just go Manamorphose, blue, Serum Visions, cast Lich, attack with both. Because I want to make it to where my opponent can't use a creature as a burn spell here. I think I'll keep this on top because I can just bin it for the Lich. Ooh. All the Liches. Okay, 1 life. I hope to also ask my opponent, oof, no bolt. Imagine Anger. Anger would be so sick. Uncounterable Exquisite Firecraft. Okay, 1-1. We're matchup stuff. I think it's okay. It's a mulligan. 2 bolts just not doing anything. Let's keep this. Let's put back the breeding pool. Opponent has mold to 5. At least 5. So I already have my discard enabler here. I think I'm going to still keep this Highway Robbery. It's kind of nice that, like, if my opponent just has a discard spell, like, I really need to have one of these, and next turn we maybe get to chew on the thoughts of, like, the advantages of plotting versus salvaging. I think maybe as a general heuristic, we should plot Highway Robbery if we only have 1 good card to discard, and we should salvaging if we have 2. And now that we have 2 cards to discard, let's plan on using the salvaging. Could, like, upkeep the salvaging because of Bowmaster. We do have the gut shot for the Bowmaster, though. So Toro and Dredge. You just kind of can't afford to spend 2 mana in Dredge to set up. Like, every time you cast, like, a spell, it needs to be a graveyard enabler. It needs to be a Cathartic Reunion. Yeah, so how plot works is you pay the plot cost, and then on a later turn, you can pay the spell for 0 mana without paying its casting cost. Should probably take the gut shot. I don't know if they know that, though. Is Demilich performing well? I mean, I've played a lot of this deck. It's one of my favorite decks in the format. Demilich is actually better in this deck than Arclight Phoenix is, in my opinion. It just, like, it doesn't need to be in the graveyard for it to function. It can be in your hand. You can draw into it off your cantrips. The card is very strong. You just cast it from your graveyard at any time, like, even if you just don't have a lot of resources. I think I'm still gonna salvaging because, like, this can maybe set up better for my turn next turn. I should have double checked that I had enough instants and sorceries, but I do. Put up mold pretty low, then had a kind of non-functional hand, it seems. Lost to Burn. Burn's a pretty tough matchup, I think. Yeah. Field of Ruin Concede. Seems alright. So we're on the draw against what is likely Coffers. I need to bring in some Pick Your Poison so I'm not just completely cold to Leyline of the Void. Although, like, are they on Leyline or are they on... They can't be on Leyline right now. They have to be on Dathi Voidwalker. Let me look at some lists. Any Coffers? Any Coffer mains in the chat? Voidwalker. No, none of it. Voidwalker. Necromancia. Leyline. Let's not bring in the Picker Poisons. Let's bring in the Flame Slashes. Maybe let's play 2 Gutshot, 2 Flame Slash. I doubt there's a current consensus. Yeah, that's fair. It just seems like with, like, Living End being much less popular, you would be not on Leyline of the Void when you're already limited sideboard. But Coffers gamers are never concerned with not having an awful sideboard. Good hand. I'm not sure if I'm putting back Serum Visions or Consider here. Usually I like the Visions on turn 1 a bit more often, but also, like, the Consider is kind of my only other way to possibly get something else in the graveyard, but that probably doesn't matter all that much. Blood Moon not good. It's not very good against Coffers. Like, they can just still usually cast all their spells through Blood Moon. Pausing all limited leagues. Okay. Good thing we didn't do the Brewer's Pass. Don't need a third Highway Robbery. We will keep this Preordain. Nice to have a bolt for a possible Dothy Voidwalker. Okay, one nice advantage here over Highway Robbery has over Salvaging is that if my opponent was to play a Voidwalker, I could still plot the Highway Robbery, and then I would be able to not like get the Phoenix exile to graveyard hate. It's kind of a nice little pro. Plotted by Aspiring Spike. The visuals there are kind of funny. That's my last basic. My last basic. Yeah, we're basically always casting this, discarding the Phoenix. So let's just go ahead and do this first. I want to see if my opponent has Bowmaster. That's interesting. Let me cast these Manamorphose. At least they didn't field earlier. Cling to Dust, my Phoenix. Second Cling to Dust. I guess I maybe should have, thought that was more likely since they used that first Cling so aggressively. So still gonna make blue-red of this Manamorphose. Then we'll Preordain. Desperately need to find another payoff. I guess I am just considering Demilich. Oh, nice. Pretty brutal to naturally drop both basics. Oh, no, I fetched one of those basics. That was a big mistake, actually. Oops. Shouldn't we hold Spirebluff? Maybe. Maybe, huh? So this is one spell cast. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to get up to enough spells this turn unless I hit like Gut Shot off my Serum Visions. So instead of doing that, let's go ahead and plot a Highway Robbery. I think if I didn't fetch that basic, then we'd be able to put two more liches into play, which would maybe just be, enough. I wonder if they would ever sideboard out Damnations against us. Also, that Fatal Push doesn't seem like it does very much, which is nice. Let me cast the Serum Visions first, I guess. If I draw Phoenix, I'll be pretty happy to have done this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess we top, and then how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we can pretty easily discard, or we can discard a Lich here. And we can have all 4 in play. Seems okay. I'm gonna discard the Gut Shot. Oh wait, I didn't mess up my spell count, did I? No, thankfully. Second match in a row having all 4 Demiliches in play. Not immediately slamming a Cabal Coffers. Legend ruling Urborg is gotta be good for me, right? Okay, game 3. When I top 8'd Canister's no banless modern event with Demilich, I really liked access to the Force of Negations in the main. And I was really thinking about cutting gut shots in the main for force negation today, or like doing it like they're just different numbers, and can maybe do that next time we play this deck. Obviously, no bandless moderns, pretty different, but force negation is just kind of better, fair interaction than it used to be. You could cut like 2 Serum Visions, 2 gut shot, or like all the Serum Visions maybe. Okay, gonna bottom both of these. Am I changing my stream hours temporarily? I had to start later today, so I'm going later today. Back to normal tomorrow. Yeah, shout out all the Australians and other people on the side of the world that can't usually tune in. Americans with jobs. The worst demographic. I think what I like about bolting now is it lets me discard Demilich a bit easier. How the Umezawa deck feel? It was always good. And the deck was fine. I don't know. We 3-2-2 leagues, could have definitely played a lot better in both of the leagues. Kind of always the case, I suppose. Can always play a little bit better. Right. Bottom the Flame Slash, no Void Walker. Maybe we should have played less Flame Slashes, not seeing one that game. Ooh, 2 Thought Scours, so maybe we'll mill over another Phoenix or Demilich. We drew a Demilich. Want it down to 14, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cast these for 0 mana. Does Teferi stop you from casting Plot? I don't think so. I don't think so. No Fatal Push. Dude, Phoenix is so back. Not Copium this time. We'll see. 2-1, I know, lost to burn. Deck's been looking good, I feel. The new card's been looking good. I just remember, like, they printed Mending, and they printed Demilich around the same time. We top-8'd a challenge with this deck, and it's just, like, ever since then, it's just... We've trophied a few times since then with it, but it's just been, like... It's been missing something. And this new card is definitely a nice upgrade. Pick Your Poison is definitely a nice upgrade. Yeah, I don't think we can actually play Satoro. It is just kind of funny that Satoro just works with every card. Why doesn't Pioneer play Lich? So one issue with Demilich and Pioneer is you have no 0 mana cards, and you really need 0 mana cards for Demilich to be good. Okay, we have 4 gut shots in our deck. Maybe we'll find one. Okay. Gonna bottom the land. I think I don't want to play around Undying Effect. Just that one card you think is what makes it good. What are you saying? So, like, I mean, I think the deck, like, I think Salvaging is not that good in this deck, and I think that Highway Robbery is better and lets the colors be better. I'm not saying that this deck is all of a sudden a good modern deck after, like, many seasons of being outside there. But this card is definitely a big upgrade to my pet decks for playing it. Oh, Preordain was also a big upgrade, that's true. Preordain was huge. A little bit better over the time. Caustic, thank you for 27 months. Welcome back. Will one Lava Dart be good? I tend to think Gutshot is better than Lava Dart in this deck. But you could play it. You could play one. Wouldn't hate it. Okay. We'll need another 2-mana looter. So let's keep this on top, then let's go cast this without paying its mana cost. Wait, are they not scammed? They played an Arid Mesa. I'm going to discard a Demilich. This is game 1. I'm not too worried about graveyard hate. Could obviously have some. So I've cast 2 spells this turn. This is 3. And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go consider Thought Scour because I just get a lot of looks at another Demilich or Phoenix. Scour's 3 looks kind of. Only one of those looks only can hit Demilich. So we did find another one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I graveyard an instant or sorcery off this consider, we can cast both liches. I graveyard another lich instead, maybe. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I need to draw that. I'm too focused on casting it for 0 from my graveyard, but this is okay. Not a bad turn 3. Could have had an extra Demilich in play. I realized just like a moment too late. So my opponent did nothing on their turn 2 or 3. They are main phase fetching a Surveil land instead of end of turning it. Probably a goofy Rakdos Reanimator build. Okay, so let's fetch. Tend to like to Preordain first so I can like top a Phoenix and consider it into the graveyard. They have a Bowmaster, which I can gut shot with my Demilich, worst case scenario. Or I guess they could bolt this. So I guess let's go ahead and just keep both of these. One, two, three, four. Don't think they're playing Undying effects if they're playing Arid Mesa. Could be wrong about that. Watched any of the Fallout show? I've seen a few episodes. It's been pretty good. I'm not like a huge Fallout fan. I've played a couple of the games. But the show's been pretty good. Esther's been liking it. She doesn't know anything about the games either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, we graveyarded instant or sorcery. We get to bring back both liches. If I see the 4th Demilich, I will draw it. Don't find instant or sorcery. It's okay. Your turn. Third Surveil land. What is going on over there? It's just all Surveil lands, Ragavans, and Bowmaster. Guess that can't be that bad a formula. Yeah, definitely Reanimator build of some kind. They discarded Goryo's Vengeance. So they're Ragavan, Bowmaster, Neonate, Goryo's. Is this another Bowmaster? I don't know why I would ever block here. This is maybe what my opponent is asking themselves to. Okay, I think I'm supposed to cast Highway Robbery here. I don't know. It's kind of close between this and let's just cast the Salvaging. We may want one more big turn this game after this. Yeah, it did feel like they have another Bowmaster. Let's see where they target the Ping-a-ding-ding. Is that my face? Gonna target this Bowmaster. I do have 3 Tormod's Crypts in the board. It's really nice that you can cantrip into these like 0 mana effects and then use them. I've always kind of liked that about this this deck. Okay, so we will, I think, just bolt the Orc Army, present lethal. The last card needs to be relevant. Krakenway Cremator. Yeah, they maybe are playing Cremator. Usually they have like Saga and opponent didn't big fan me, and then we didn't get nut drilled. Thanks, not a big fan. Okay, we can cast 1 cantrip from the yard. Let's do consider, because I wouldn't mind leaving like a bolt in the yard for next turn. We'll do Cribros. Thank you again for your service. Hopefully game 2 I can share the spice and get an Yargled mate probably. Okay, so I bring in the Tormod's Crypts. I expect their graveyard hate to be Dothi Voidwalker, so let's also bring in these Flame Slashes. They're a Ragavan Bowmaster deck though, so I can't really cut these gut shots. So maybe I do 2 Flame Slashes and I cut the Serum Visions and then trim a Salvaging. I think that Salvaging is probably the better card overall, but Highway Robbery is better against Bowmasters and Dothi Voidwalker because you can just kind of set up a bit better. You just don't really get as got. Just kind of an interesting dynamic. Like, I think Salvaging more raw power and Robbery lets you set up better. Maybe I should be on Surgical instead of Tormod's Crypts. Just kind of scared of living end. Isn't Slickshot just awesome? So I played a lot of this archetype, trophied with it when Faithless Salvaging came out, and I basically always get this comment. You know, whatever the new hot like Izzet spell card is, why aren't we playing that in the deck? We can double Lich next turn. We may just get Goryo's though. Should I gut shot this so that if I gut shot this, I can't double Demilich next turn? I'm just gonna if they Emrakul me, they Emrakul me. The deck really, in my opinion, does not want to play any extra creatures. I've played Murktide, I've played DRC in the shell, but as soon as you start adding non-Phoenix, non-Demilich spells to the deck, then all of a sudden you are okay. We're getting Damping Sphered. All of a sudden you are making yourself like weak to removal that you were previously insulating yourself from. Red Navak, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, Highway Robbery is the new card for Phoenix. You get to plot up a 0 mana loot. So Manamorphose basically discounts the Liches by 1. Just thinking if I ever like would want to gut shot the Neonate now. I don't think so. Oh wait, it also makes the Liches more expensive. Okay, Damping Sphere is pretty good against us. Pick your poisons in for game 3. Oh, for some reason I was just thinking non-creature spells, but yeah, that one's pretty good against us. So maybe we just cut the slashes. We can play like 2 pick your poisons, maybe 3. My opponent is that says sorry, dog. So will we get Goryo's here? Hopefully. Oh, there's the spice. A cool the Unrepentant. So they need 3 creatures and an Emrakul in hand. Oh, okay, but no Goryo's. Just. Did they not have another one of the 6/6s in their hand? Because I feel like I just can't beat like 4 mana 6/6 flyer here. I guess I don't need to gut shot that now. Just do that on their turn, maybe. Okay, can't play the Crypt this turn. And a Demilich. Second Bowmasters. I can beat a second Bowmasters, maybe. Can't really beat much else. So let's gut shot a Bowmaster on their turn here. Oh, this Neonate is gonna get in for a lot of damage, isn't it? Could have played Flame Slash or Bolt, gut shot. Sorry, Flame Slash or Bolt or gut shot and Demilich, right? I mean, I can just gut shot on their turn, but like it doesn't actually like the Damping Sphere. Like if you play one thing, the Demilich costs 1 more mana. So I think we go this turn. The Demilich gets reduced by 1 if we play any one of those 3. Yeah, but if we tapped the Flame Slash, if we did this right, we cast this, then the Demilich costs 4. We don't have 4. Yeah, it always costs 4 with the Damping Sphere in play. Think I may end up bolting them. The plan, I think, at the moment is take 6. Go to 2. Bolt them. They discarded only a Thoughtseize though, so they have a card in their hand they like. My opponent says, "I'm so excited, it's time. Let me know what you think." So they're good. Their 2 cards in hand are the 6/6 and Emrakul. Can I beat that? If I draw another bolt, I can. Okay, so wait, this is a 5/5. I thought it was a 6/6. So put your Emrakul into play. Wowza. So when I bolt them, I have, if I draw another bolt, we can win. Got shot. People keep asking, Spike, did anybody play any new cards against you? Finally, I have an opponent playing a new card against us. It looks cool. I think I don't have enough mana to do all this, even if I find bolts here. Okay, don't. Game 3. So, gonna bring the Pick Your Poisons in. Let's do 3 copies of Pick Your Poison. Let's cut these Flame Slashes. I think on the draw, we also are not as scared of Ragavan and Bowmaster. You can try what got shot. Or sorry, on the play, we're not as scared of Ragavan and Bowmaster. You're good, Big Woofta. Just very intense game. Wrote the combo in the description. Oh boy. This hand has a Crypt. It has a Pick Your Poison. It has no second land. Let's go to Mulligan. Could keep that on the draw, maybe. I'm going to keep this one. Put back second Preordain. I think we do really need the bolt against the Ragavan Bowmaster, possibly Dothi Voidwalker deck. Where's the description? I should know this. I don't see it. I think it should just be right down there at the top. Oh, there it is. So it's Breach Satoro, infinitely play Ballista for 0, so you can flaggerate all your Dredge cards. Okay, so we have a official Satoro infinite combo. So you go Breach, Satoro. Wait, how do you keep getting this stuff in the yard? Oh, to dredge. You dredge. Well, how do you get these back in the yard after you dredge though? Maybe you just chain them together. The problem is also that you can't immediately conflagrate, right? Like you have to like do this and then untap. Just kind of asking a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go for salvaging here. Although I guess I should salvage before Ragavan hits me because I could hit a gut shot. That's why I want Unearth for Oracle instead. Yeah, you could do Unearth Oracle and then 1 Mox Amber, so you can make black off Satoro. Oh, there is an Unearth. But you are not thinking. Yeah, if you're already playing Unearth, I think Oracle probably makes a lot of sense. I'm a little bit concerned that you won't be able to actually like continue your loop because you don't have enough dredge cards. So you can maybe play a Phantasmagorion in the deck to like when you mill over it, you can discard some more of your dredge cards. I'm not sure if it's necessary or not, but that would be a possible fix. Let me go off here real quick. Nice. So I've cast 3 instants or sorceries. Just try to bring these phoenixes back first. Oh, the Oracle's in the sideboard. I do feel like the deck is like likely way too all in and like not as good as other Breach combo decks. I think that probably should be said, right? Unfortunately, it is very cool though, and it is very cool. I don't like that the card is like that the combo is like a million pieces. You're only playing 18 lands. You have like a million bricks. You're really weak to graveyard hate. You're really weak to removal. But very cool. I do think I'd likely play a Mox Amber and the Oracle Domain. Consider Phantasmagorion. I don't know if I have anything else. How's the Leyline Draco matchup against Phoenix? Game one, Leyline plus Scions. I don't think you can really beat it very easily, but you post board, you have a bunch of pick your poisons. And then, like, you can flashback pick your poison with Demilich. Okay. So, we lost to Burn, but we beat Merfolk, Coffers, and then this brew. Get a 4-1 prediction going. We've lost both of our 4-1 predictions today. 3-2'd both leagues with Satoru. I'm going to keep... Where did Foothills go? Definitely looking for like exactly salvaging. Best possible draw here. Where did Foothills go? I seen one day ago on Assault Loam, and they are getting a... Is this creativity, or is it not? Oh, okay. It looks like it is creativity, but Titan creativity. I think we actually maybe played against this gamer recently. Can't played against this deck recently for sure. Remember, we played a deck very similar to this, but we were playing Archons instead of Titans. Titan might be better. So my opponent explores, but they don't have... Oh, sorry. For some reason, I thought they should have... I too explored myself. Does rebound count for Phoenix? Yes, and that is like the main reason why you're playing it. Is it gives you like a 0-mana spell to start your turn on. It's kind of the same way as thing as Highway Robbery, but can let you loot in extra time. And Robbery is like better against playing against graveyard hate. It seems. I'd love to find like 2 gut shots to hold up against creativity. Like a sick force of will. So 2 Phoenixes flying again. There's 1 gut shot. So again, here's what you do with Serum Visions in the stack: is you try to scry a Phoenix or Demilich to the top, which we have failed to do here, unfortunately. I do think I'm just going to need to hold up double removal for creativity X equals 2 here. Yeah, MH3 is going to be so big, dude. I'm so excited. When it's like 1 mana up, how could I lose both my dwarf tokens? So I'm not super likely to kill my opponent this turn. Could happen. Gonna lead on Preordain. I don't think we need another Demilich. We're looking for bolts, and we're looking for phoenixes. We're looking for maybe Manamorphose. I can keep this. This can like graveyard a phoenix if it's on top. Can also just like lets me Demilich a bit easier. I guess I take gut shot because this can stop creativity X equals 1, and also puts my opponent to a multiple of 3 life potentially, which may just be enough. Dude, Gutshot countering a 4-mana spell and killing a creature is just like... That feels good, dude. Okay, so let me take a look at their sideboard again. I would absolutely take a 4-1 losing to Burn. Looks like no graveyard hates. Take that too. So let's bring in these Blood Moons. And... I think I'm cutting the bolts, or I'm going to go down like 2 Serum Vision, 2 bolts. Let's do that. Yeah, I totally forgot to cover Highway Robbery in the PowerPoint. I don't know. We had talked about it on stream a bunch, but Just totally slipped my mind. Oh, sorry, we play 3 bowls. I don't know. Maybe I need the Serum Visions for unclunking with 3 moons. Just so you do bolt your opponent out a lot in this deck. A lot of times it's like flashing back bolt with Demilich. Good luck, Zealous. Let us know how you do. Yeah, it's kind of hard to mulligan like lands, creature, Manamorphose, Salvaging. It's just kind of that's the deck, brother. Can't mulligan these. What'd you cut for it? So I had been playing a version of this deck that was Jeskai that had Faithful Mending as its other discard enabler. And I was playing a blue-red build with Izzet Charm. And I kind of like that, like, this was like back when Rakdos Scam was like the most popular deck in the format. So it's kind of cool that Izzet Charm was your other looter, but also could kill a Dothy Voidwalker that were pretty common in the main deck. But I mean, Izzet Charm's just kind of inefficient. And so I kind of went off of that build. Okay, they have added Graveyard Hate to their deck. Thankfully, Demilich is a card that you can just cast from your hand. So we will not be discarding them to the salvaging. Although they are going to be kind of blank 4/3s, I suppose. Let's see that in the MTG Goldfish. Let's discard the salvaging. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna Lich. Oh no, I don't know what I'm discarding. I guess I just have to discard the Blood Moon because I need to be able to play my creatures. Could maybe find another Blood Moon too. We get to see a lot of cards. But I need to be able to get as many Liches down as I can here. Nice to have it got shut up for creativity too. And then did not find the mythical third Lich here. They have a Bolt. Will of Sun and Moon is such a cool card. Pretty obscure. They Dredge Loam this turn, and then they Seismic Assault me. Alright, let's go to game 3. Super dead. Not going to bring in Tormod's Crypts to fight the Loam stuff. Pick Your Poison also kills Seismic Assaults. Dude, Magic Online's so laggy for me today. Did I not concede like... Okay, I guess I didn't. Like doubting myself. It's still been very laggy. I think I did already right click concede. Audio off, mic is weird. Okay. Might be PC side. Okay, maybe then. Be a bad time for my PC to be broken. Take over Blood Moon. I think we also want Blood Moon. Blood Moon seems really good against them. Yeah, what does that mean? A Pokemon enters every few minutes. Now, no sound at all. Pick Your Poison, Blood Moon. I suppose Manamorphose fixes it all. I think for the most part, if you've like slammed a Blood Moon, you're okay, and like you can Manamorphose. Yeah, to cast Pick Your Poison, you can loot them away. Could just be bad. Okay, let's keep both of these on top with the intention to Thought Scour this Demilich into the yard next turn. Your mic is a lot of feedback every minute. Okay. I mean, we've been good all day. Oh shit! I meant to upkeep stop this. Okay, I guess this is just in our hand now. Should have Thought Scoured. Damn it. So I can keep one on top, then scour the other into the yard. I think I'm just gonna bottom both of these. Imagine if I just scoured instead. So disappointing. Okay, let me restart the audio interface. Okay, hopefully that sounds better. Well, I guess we can pick your poison that and cast a Demilich. Definitely not looking very good this game. Okay, let's make blue green here. Hope to draw a looter. I think we are stuck in 3-2 hell for today, gamers. Would fetching there maybe shuffle the Phoenixes before scouring be better than playing a canal? Yeah, I guess that, yeah, probably fetch there. Okay, don't want to get pinged. Need our opponent to be super flooded. What matchups did you bring in the fourth pick your poison? Leyline Scion decks. And Scales, Amulet Titan, Hammer Time. Would take a lot to win this game. But you could have some kind of crazy series of draws in the stack. This is a start. So I think I'm probably going to pick your Poison Enchantment here. Seems better than the average card, I guess. Yeah, let's attack Ridden 6 with the Demilich. Let's leave this Phoenix back to block, and then let's make them sack an enchantment. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, right, ordering blockers, okay. Hopefully I don't have Graveyard Hate, but we can just replay the Stimulus for 0 mana. Usually want to keep Preordains. Let's just keep the Preordain and the... I guess we'll do one. Sometimes you scour over other ones there. Just fill up the yard. If you have more liches. They cycle a Shelter Thicket. That was a good turn. We had several bad turns before this, so not necessarily feeling great about our chances still, but certainly a start. I would love to sack a land to Highway Robbery at some point today. Doesn't seem like we're quite there yet. They pick up another Shelter Thicket. They do seem to be like at least somewhat flooded, and we stop them from looting with either Fable because we pick your poison to both Fable, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I've like ever done that before. They play a Dwarven Mine, 7 cards in their hand. Ren and 6 Ultimate coming down next turn potentially. They loan back just Shelter Thicket. Draw Blood Moon here. They already activated Ren and 6, right? So let's block with the Lich. I forgot we have this rebounding too. Dude, we could win this game. Okay, I'm actually gonna fetch before casting the Serum Visions. Unironically, might sacrifice a land to Highway Robbery, which is just kind of funny mode on the card, I think. We'll keep this Demilich. I guess I probably want to set up for next turn maybe just by salvaging into it. You know what? Let's sack an island, I think. Like I think I just want kind of a 1 extra card here. Nice. That instinct seemed to have worked out. So this is spell number 4. So I'll be able to get this back, cast this for 0. And then I almost want to make them sacrifice their treasure token. Let's send one of these at Ren and 6. Let's send the other 2 at my opponent. I think I'm gonna make them sack the treasure. I've never picked your poison to treasure token, I think. Oh no, I always fuck. Sorry. Thought I had the breeding pool untapped. See how relevant that treasure token ends up being. The main phase this. Streaming too long. Explores. Seismic Assault. Plays Wooded Foothills instead of discarding it. Then gets Dwarven Mine. What is happening? Is it because they're going to loam? Okay, they're going after my creatures. Demilich has been targeted. Demilich is down. Could they not kill me? I guess not. They like definitely could have killed me, right? I'm maybe missing something. So usually Scour in response to Salvaging because you could draw a Phoenix off the Scour, then discard the Phoenix to the Salvaging. We mill a third copy of Demilich. Another Highway Robbery. Looking for Pick Your Poison. Manamorphose kind of free to play, I guess. Extra instant or sorcery in the yard for all these Demiliches too. I'm gonna sack a land again. It's the second time we're doing that today. Oh, it's also second time this game, but also today. So it looks like we're not gonna be able to pick your poison. I'm gonna scour now. Maybe we find fourth Phoenix to bring back. We do not find fourth Phoenix. So I am like very close to just being dead. I'm still standing for now. One Demilich. Two Demilich. Casual 3. That's, yeah, I'm pretty sure they miss lethal. Listen, if I can punt, they can punt. They judge a loam. They may just still have enough to kill me, right? If they loam twice, shelter thicket once. Okay, now they're going for it. Just styling on us. So yeah, they should have it here. Okay, 3-2 hell today. I mean, 60% run rate is not the worst. Pay out the doubters. They're going pretty solid though. I kind of want to try maybe main decking Force of Negations going forward. But, you know, did feel like a pretty big upgrade to the deck, if I'm going to be quite honest. But is it going to be a deck in Modern going forward? I don't know. Probably going to start tomorrow with a Magda. I'm going to finish the like Dimir build of Satoro, Dimir Scan build of Satoro. That sounds pretty sick. I want to play a Satoro deck like every day because the